Hello everybody, welcome or welcome back to the channel. Thank you so much for being here. I am so unbelievably excited for this reading vlog because today, not today, but in this video, I will be finally reading the Raven Cycle series by Maggie Stiefvater. I've heard nothing but good things about this series, and even though the first book was published back in 2012, I've never actually heard about this series until later on when I got into booktube, and I've heard a lot of creators saying that this is their favorite series or one of their favorite series. What I want to mention is that earlier this year I read Maggie Stiefvater's latest release, The Listeners, and even though that book wasn't necessarily my type of thing, it was more so like historical fiction with like a very, very slight layer of magical realism. I still liked how Maggie Stiefvater described everything, and her writing style is so lyrical and atmospheric, and I would expect nothing less from this series, The Raven Cycle. The first book in the series is called The Raven Boys, and I think actually by the time I'm publishing this video, the graphic novel version is already released, and I think that's why this series has a little bit of a resurgence right now, because the graphic novel is being released, and from what I've seen online, the art style is just amazing. I will like insert some pictures here, but yeah, I'm excited for that book to pick it up eventually when it's going to arrive in Romania. So with that in mind, I bought the books on Amazon. I will be reading them on my Kindle. And before we start with the reading montage, I wanted to actually read the synopsis of the first book. So on Goodreads, it says, there are only two reasons a non-seer would see a spirit on St. Mark's Eve, Neve said. Neve? That's a weird spelling for Neve, right? Neeve. That's interesting. Either you're his true love, or you kill him. Okay, 2010 YA fantasy, I see you. It is freezing in the churchyard even before the dead arrive. Every year, Blue Surgeon stands next to her clairvoyant mother as the soon-to-be dead walk past. Blue herself never sees them, not until this year when a boy emerges from the dark and speaks directly to her. His name is Ganzi, and Blue soon discovers that he is a rich student at Aglamby, I think it's Aglamby, right? Aglamby? The local private school. Blue has a policy of standing away from Aglamby boys. Known as Raven Boys, they can only mean trouble, but Blue is drawn to Ganzi in a way that she can't entirely explain. He has it all: family, money, good looks, devoted friends, but he's looking for much more than that. He is on a quest that has encompassed three other Raven Boys: Adam, the scholarship student who resents all the privilege around him; Ronan, the fierce soul who ranges from anger to despair; and Noah, the taciturn watcher of the four, who notices many things but says very little. For as long as she can remember, Blue has been warned that she will cause her true love to die. She never thought that would be a problem, but now, as her life becomes caught up in the strange and sinister world of the Raven Boys, she's not so sure anymore. Okay, so it seems to be kind of like a forbidden love type of a thing. Yeah, I will start reading now, and I will update you when I have something to say or when I will finish this book. I don't know yet for sure, but I'm gonna see you in a bit. Hello, everybody. Good morning. It is 8 a.m. right now, and my initial plan was to update you at roughly the 50% mark of the Raven Boys, but I honestly just couldn't stop from reading this book, and this morning I just finished it. Like 5 minutes ago, I just read the last chapter, and I am not okay. But also, what's up with the ending? Like, what? What do you mean you took Chainsaw out of your dreams? Like, what the fuck? I knew something was up with Ronan from how he is portrayed throughout this whole book, but I just don't know what's wrong with him. Wrong in like quotation marks, but I would assume that the second book being called The Dream Thieves, he's going to play like a bigger role in that book and he's going to help the gang like maybe scrying their dreams or stuff like that. I don't know, I'm not sure because I didn't read the synopsis for the second book yet. I have so many questions after reading this book. Let's start with the beginning. So, the setting of this is very like YA 2010s, which is a compliment in this case because it really reminded me of what was popular at that time, like The Chosen One, and oh my god, we don't have any powers for our main character, but obviously that's not really the case because otherwise they wouldn't be the main character, right? And I love the found family aspect in this group of friends because they are friends by the end of the book. But also, I love the family dynamics in Blue's kind of like house and family because her mother is a psychic, and pretty much all of the women in that house have psychic abilities to varying levels. I don't know what's up with Persephone just yet. I think she has something else going on. But I love how all of these women in this house are just like interacting with each other and they're so like funny and lovable. I do think Mara is a great parent and a really good role model for Blue. Definitely there's something going on with Blue's father because otherwise I don't think she would be able to just amplify everyone's psychic abilities. So I'm very curious to see how that story arc is going to progress by the end of this series. The plot in this book is like not that important, I would say. Like, yes, we have a quest, and that is to find these ley lines that are supposedly in this town of Henrietta, but I just think that it was kind of rough how we got there. It's not that clear in my head, but that being said, I really, really appreciate how Maggie Stiefvater has characterized or has portrayed these characters because I think it's really important for us to have this background and to understand why these characters are acting in the way that they are. I found Adam's family drama so just heartbreaking, and I'm so happy that by the end of this book, he kind of addressed what was happening in his family. His father was very abusive, and his mother didn't really help him at all. So she was complicit in that aspect. And by the end of the book, he kind of came into his own and recognized that what's happening is not okay, and he took action. And I'm so happy to see how Adam is going to evolve throughout this series. As I said, Blue and her family, I absolutely love them. I think they are so hilarious and fun, but also they are helping to move the plot further because they are pretty much, I would say, the only ones that are truly in the know in this first book. When it comes to Ronan, I don't know what's happening, but I am so here for it. I think he's like the troubled boy archetype more so than Ganzi is, I would say. But yeah, I do have a hunch that in the second book, The Dream Thieves, we are going to focus a lot more on Ronan, and I'm so here for it. I'm honestly so here for it. Ganzi, our like second main character, I would say, for some reason in my head, like every single time I see his name on the page, I'm like, oh, Gnarly, but it doesn't have anything to do with that anyway. But yeah, Mr. Gnarly, he is pretty much destined to die, question mark. We still don't know how exactly that is going to happen, if it is going to happen, I would assume he's not going to die just because, first of all, he's kind of our love interest. Although I don't really like, they started to develop feelings for each other in this book, but it was more so like towards the end. So I do look forward to see how Ganzi's and Blue's relationship is going to develop in the next books. I do think there's like a huge misunderstanding with Blue's prophecy, or like the prophecy that Blue has heard her whole life, and that is that if she's going to kiss her one true love, that person is going to die. And also, she saw Ganzi in the cemetery when she and Neve did the whole St. Mark's premonition thingy, when they had to speak with the spirits of the people that are going to die in the next 12 months, and she was able to talk to Ganzi. I'm actually not sure on this, and I don't think it was explained that well in this book, but I actually do believe that Ganzi, because he was like physically there, I don't think it was his ghost, and there's this whole like misunderstanding in the middle. But nonetheless, I'm looking forward to see how that whole story is going to develop further. Noah, when it was revealed, like I had a hunch that something was happening with Noah from how he was described, but I just didn't know that that specific person was responsible for his current state. But I was so shook when it was revealed what's up with Noah. Like, that's just crazy. And I am like so happy for how his story got sort of concluded in the end. Chainsaw, we have to talk about Chainsaw. What's up with him, her, it? I don't know. I don't know. Couldn't tell you, but they're there. So let me read the synopsis for the second book from Goodreads, The Dream Thieves. So it says, now that the ley lines around Cape's water have been worked, nothing for Ronan, Ganzi, Blue, and Adam will be the same. Ronan, for one, is falling more and more deeply into his dreams, and his dreams are intruding more and more into waking life. What? Meanwhile, some very sinister people are looking for some of the same pieces of the cave's water puzzle that Ganzi is after. So, right now, I want to brew another cup of coffee because I already pretty much. Oh no, I still have some left. Okay. Yeah, but I want to brew a fresh cup of coffee, and I want to start reading for like 30-ish minutes before I start working, and I'll update you whenever I can regarding the second book, The Dream Thieves. So, see you in a bit. You guys, it is a couple of hours later. Actually, I don't think it's like a couple of hours because I'm only 13% into the Dream Thieves right now. I still have my candle running, so if you hear some crackling noises, this is what you're hearing, okay? Okay. So, as I said, 13% into the book, and I am on chapter 8, by the way. I had to stop everything and just update the vlog because I just think this is hilarious. So, we have two people who are very much attracted to each other, and Maggie chose to express this by saying, He was attracted to her like a heart attack. What? What do you mean? I cannot. I cannot. This is so stupid yet so funny. I love it. I loved every second of it. Okay, back to reading now. Hello, everybody. I made further progress into the Dream Thieves. I am currently 55% into the book. I am in the middle of chapter 31. And I wanted to do like a short little update. Oh my god, my neighbors are so loud. Anyway, so not a lot of things happened, if I'm being honest, until this point in the book, but also there are like smaller events that are contributing to character development. For example, we got to see a lot of Ronan's backstory, what happened with his dad. There was like a breakthrough regarding his mom, and I just like couldn't believe what I was reading. Like his backstory is so just satisfying, and it explains a lot of his character traits that we see in the first book now having this backstory. Like we know why he is behaving in the way that he is. I wish to focus more on Blue's family. Hopefully, we will get that in the next book because, based on the title, like Blue Lily, Lily Blue, I would assume that it's more focused on Blue. So I'm not like too worried about that. I just wished to see more of the whole dynamic between Blue and her family, like all of her mother's friends and stuff like that, because I just really like how they are interacting with each other. But yeah, I don't know if anything major is going to happen in this book, but nonetheless, I am happy with the time that I got to spend with Ronan and Adam and Ganzi and Blue and Noah and also Chainsaw. So far in the Dream Team. Speaking of Noah, there's this whole scene between him and Blue. I just read it right now. That's why I wanted to stop and just like update the vlog. They are basically talking about her whole like curse because all of her life Blue was told by all of the psychics that she saw, her mom included, that she will kill the love of her life when they kiss or if they kiss or something like that. And now Noah is like asking her, wait, but why didn't you kiss Adam? And she is just like disclosing to Noah this whole curse and why she's so worried. And Noah is asking like some really smart questions about how this whole kissing thing is phrased. And then after he listens to Blue just like talk about this thing that she's super worried about, he's like, well, I know someone that you can kiss and they will not die. And she's like, who? And then, oh, wait, it's you. Like, I just thought that was so funny. They kissed eventually, and now it's like a little bit weird between them, but hopefully everything's fine. But yeah, I just thought that was super funny considering what we know about Noah from the first book. I am going to continue reading and I will update you when I finish the book, I guess. So, see you in a bit. I am so tired. I took a shower and I had like 50 pages or so left from the Dream Thieves, and I really wanted to finish it tonight. So I continued reading and I just finished the Dream Thieves right now. And all I can say is that I'm not okay. Like, I am not okay. What's up with this ending? Like, I understand that we have to set up the things that will happen in the next book, but what is going on? Like, what did Mara do with the scrying, and what does she have to do with Glendower? Like, is Glendower Blue's dad? I don't think he is, but I don't know. I don't know. I'm just like, I'm not confused. I'm very excited to see where this is going, but I am low-key spiraling because I don't know what's gonna happen in Blue Lily, Lily Blue, the third book. Somehow we got dragons towards the end of this book. Like, do you remember when I said in the previous clip that nothing really seems to happen in this book? It's more so like character development and stuff like that. And I stand corrected. Like in the second half of the book, a lot of things happened. I also quite enjoyed the like story arc with I think his name is Mr. Gray, the Gray Man. I really, really liked his relationship with Blue's mom, and I also liked how he came in clutch in the end to pretty much save Ronan from being kidnapped. As I said, I'm pretty tired, but I kind of already want to start the next book. I don't know if that's gonna happen like in this evening because I just want to sleep. But tomorrow morning, you best believe I'm going to start reading the third book. Oh my god. Because for the other two books, I just read kind of like the description from Goodreads. My phone doesn't want to unlock right now. I just wanted to go on Goodreads and also read the description for the third book, Blue Lily, Lily Blue. Blue Sergeant has found things. For the first time in her life, she has friends she can trust, a group to which she can belong. The Raven Boys have taken her in as one of their own. Their problems have become hers, and her problems have become theirs. The trick with found things, though, is how easily they can be lost. Friends can betray, mothers can disappear, visions can mislead, certainties can unravel. I also just now realized that she didn't disclose to Ganzi like the whole drama from the first book. Like he is still unaware that he's going to die eventually. Enough rambling. I'm going to go to sleep now, and I will see you tomorrow, and I'll start reading the third book. So see you in a bit. So, I just got back home. I did finish Blue Lily, Lily Blue, and I will update you on my thoughts on that book in a second. But first, and most importantly, on my way home, I saw that like a store next to me had fall decorations. And I know it's only the beginning of August, but in the last couple of years, I wanted to get one of those like pumpkin shaped cushions, like this one. And I finally saw it at this store, and I was like, well, you know what? It might be summer, but I will buy it because I've been wanting to get one of these for a long time now. I think it will look really cool on this chair here in the background because I usually use this chair to read. And yeah, I got this. Okay, I don't know how well you can see it, but it's there. Obviously, I had to cut off the tags. But not only did I buy this pumpkin pillow, cushion, whatever it is, I saw that they had some other things fall related and I just couldn't resist. So I guess this is now a fall decoration haul. I don't know what I'm saying because I'm rambling at this point. So I got, as you can tell, I am liking fall and pumpkins a lot. So I got one of these little pumpkins. Wait, hold on. So I got one of these little pumpkins. It has like a golden leaf here that I think it's so cute. I also got a smaller one. Let me see if I can find it. Just remove this. Yeah, I also got this smaller one. It has this like really cool like patterns on it. And then this was the last mug that they had, and I was like, you know what, I might as well just get it because I will not be finding this specific one, I'm sure, later in the year. So I got this. It has like a little defect right here. I don't know if you can tell, but considering that it says that it's hand painted, I mean, I think it looks pretty cool. And then this is the last thing that I got. This doesn't have anything to do with fall or with anything really. I just liked it. So yeah, I don't have any explanation for this. I just love this little face so much. So yeah, I will not buy any mugs for the foreseeable future because I already have a lot. This is my little haul. Now let me clean my desk a little bit and then we're gonna talk about Blue Lily, Lily Blue. So the third book in the Raven Cycle series, Blue Lily, Lily Blue. I finished it on the subway on my way back home, and I couldn't scream, obviously, but I was screaming internally because of that ending. I was sure Neve is going to come back at some point, and apparently that point was the ending of this book. I still don't know how Piper is relevant to the story, why we care about Piper all of a sudden. I don't know. I don't know, but I'm sure everything is going to be clarified in the last book, or at least I hope. What I really appreciated about Blue Lily, Lily Blue, this is kind of like a tongue twister. What I really appreciated about the third book is that we finally focused more on the Blue family, and even though Mora disappeared at the end of the second book, I really liked to see more of the dynamics between Blue and all of the other girls from their house. I really still don't understand the relationship between Blue and Gansey. Like, they're supposed to be in love, but I don't think it's like explored enough, and they kind of sort of almost nearly kiss. They kind of like smooshed their faces together, or at least that's how I imagined that scene. And it was kind of cringy, but in the same time, like, I do understand the significance of this because she's not supposed to kiss him because of the curse, or the curse, because I'm still pretty sure that he will not die and they will find a loophole. But That's just my hunch. Later today, I will start reading the fourth and final book in this series, The Raven King. And after I finish that, I will come back here to tell you my overall thoughts and opinions about this series. I don't know if this series will be like overall 5 stars for me just because the plot doesn't really make sense in my head, or at least it didn't until now at this point with the first 3 books. The character work is really good though. I really like these characters a lot and their dynamics as a group and individually, so I think that is really well done. The plot, still a bit murky for me, but yeah, I will go read now and I will update you later. Hi, hello. I'm sorry for how gross I look right now, but I did some progress with the last book in the Raven Cycle and I wanted to update you like around the midpoint. I am currently 43% into the last book of the Raven Cycle. I am on chapter 27 and a lot of just like weird exposition things are happening. First of all, the prologue, Genzi is not dumb and he pretty much knows that he's going to die because like he heard Blue talk about this thing that she does with her mom every year on St. Mark's Day, and he knew that he was there in the cemetery and he picked up on his voice on that like weird recorder from the first book, and so he knows that he's going to die. Also, Matthew, is it Matthew or Marcus? I guess it's Matthew, right? Wait, I really should look at my notes. So Matthew, Ronan's little brother, is also from the dream world. So we learn in, I don't know exactly in which book, I think it was in the second book, that Ronan's mom is also from the dream world. His father kind of like brought her to the real world from dream one. And now we find out that Matthew is from the same dream world as well. And now Ronald is very worried because if he dies, then his little brother is going to be in that same like very weird state in which his mother was after his dad supposedly died. Noah attacked Blue and he seems to be in this like very weird state, like he's not himself. And he was found by Mora, who was hooking up with the gray man, I believe, and they brought him to their house, and now he tried to attack Blue, and he's like in a really really bad shape, so we don't know why that is happening at all with Noah. Also something else, and I cannot believe that I didn't pick up on this until now, Adam and Ronan, I'm pretty sure they're into each other. Like, Ronan is very clearly in love with Adam, and I think Adam knows as well? Question mark. So, yeah, I don't know if we're gonna see them together, but I really, really hope that they're going to end up together. We're gonna see about that. Neve and Piper are in the same like underground cave situation thingy, and recently they managed to escape from there. I'm not exactly sure how, like I didn't understand that. But yeah, they escaped somehow, and I'm pretty sure that Piper is going to try to kill her husband, potentially. I will go shower now because I feel absolutely disgusting, and I will update you when I am finished with this last book. Hi, hello, good morning. So, I just finished the last book in the Raven cycle, the Raven King. And after I finished that, I also read the short novella Opal. So the novella takes place kind of after the ending of this series. It's not something that adds to the plot by any means. It's just like more time with these characters, and we get to see two of our characters from another perspective. But I'm gonna talk about that in a second. First, I really want to talk about the last book, The Raven King, and the ending, because even though I love these characters so much, the plot and the ending just didn't really do it for me that much, specifically in this book, because the ending felt so rushed. Like, we spent so much time in the first part of the book, and also I think it was up to like 80-85%. We spent so much time just focusing on things that just felt like they were not necessary to the overall overarching narrative. And then all of a sudden, like, Genzi died, Blue kissed him, actually in the other way around. So Blue kissed him, he died, and then they discovered that Cave's water can basically sacrifice itself, and he came back to life. What a surprise. Also, the thing that pissed me off the most is that the thing, like the main mission that we had from the first book, was that Ganzi wanted to find Glendower's cave or like remains, and he believed that Glendower can be resurrected, and in this way he can ask him for a favor, right? And they found Glendower, but he was just dead and they couldn't resurrect him. Like, that plot was for nothing. And it almost feels like the author kind of changed her mind alongside maybe like the third book ish, because the first two books, to me at least, feel more intentional with the plot than the third and the fourth. Yeah, I just don't think it translated that well in this final installment from the series. I was really let down by the plot, but that is not to say that I didn't enjoy this series, because let me tell you, the character work is just so, so, so good. You know how sometimes when you have like a very different cast of characters, they sometimes can feel like they're almost bleeding into each other, like someone is speaking and you don't necessarily know who is speaking. That never happens in this series. All of the characters are so well defined. We understand their motivations, we understand their past traumas. I think Ronan and Adam, both of them, are my two favorite characters. And spoiler alert, actually, this whole video was a spoiler. Who am I kidding? But Ronan and Adam do end up being together in the last book and also in Opal, which I found quite heartwarming and sweet, and I'm just like so happy for them that they kind of figured that out. I just love these characters so much, and I understand why this series is a lot of people's favorite. I feel like because I'm reading this series at such a late point in my life, I don't have the same attachment to the overall story as a lot of people do. But nonetheless, I love the characters. I love the writing style and how descriptive it is. Like, you are never confused about their surroundings, about how these characters look, about what they're going through emotionally, about their world and their surroundings. Like, you're never confused about that. The plot is confusing and gets a lot more confusing as the story progresses, I feel like. But I guess that's fine. Like, we still have these characters that I deeply, deeply love. It actually reminds me a lot of the Six of Crows duology. Not that the story itself has anything to do with this series, but the character work and character development and how layered all of these characters are is reminding me a lot of Leigh Bardugo's way of crafting her characters in Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, because I feel like, again, a lot of people read that series when they were growing up and they are so attached to those characters that the plot almost becomes not as important. And even though we have like more of a plot, I feel like in Six of Crows and Crooked Kingdom, that's not what people remember. Like, the people remember these characters because how well defined and described and how well written they are. And I think it is the same with the Raven Boys, the Raven Cycle series. I think Maggie Stiefvater did an amazing, amazing job of just crafting these characters because they genuinely feel like real people. So yeah, these were my overall thoughts when it comes to this series as a whole. If I would have to choose, or not choose, but if I would have to rank them, I definitely do think that the first two books feel more thought out than the last two books, specifically when it comes to the plot. As of right now, as of the moment when I'm filming this video, as of August 3rd, 2025 at 11:38 a.m., my ranking would be The Dream Thieves, followed by the first book, The Raven Boys, and then Blue Lily Lily Blue, and last one, The Raven King, in terms of just like my enjoyment of the plot overall from those books. Now let's talk about Opal. This is like a very, very short novella story. I don't think you can actually see the cover because it's not turned on, but um, this story is from Opal's point of view. Opal is the orphan girl that Ronan takes out of his dreams. I forget exactly if he takes her out of his dreams in the last book or in the third one, but nonetheless, she is now staying at that barn with Adam and Ronan, and they have imposed like very strict rules for her because you have to remember that she has like hooves for legs. So obviously not a lot of people can see her, and she has to train to hide herself when other people come by the barn and stuff like that. And now she's in trouble because the UPS guy saw her or something like that, which was pretty funny. What I really liked from this novella is how she depicts Ronan and Adam like through her eyes. She just sees the world in this very innocent type of a way, and it's just like so sweet to see her talk about Ronan and Adam and her pretty much coming of age and her trying to figure out the real world because she's very good at handling the dream world. But now she has to figure things out in this very, very big real world that she got trust into. Please let me know in the comments down below if you read this series as a kid, young adult, or if you chose to read it in your adult life as I did. Until next time, thank you all for watching, and I will see you in a new video soon here on the channel. Bye everyone.